So what we can do is start by lying down on our backs. Place the soles of your feet together. Bring the knees apart. And make your way into a Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta being supine, Baddha, bound, Konasana, angle pose. Allow the hands to rest lightly on the front of your hip bones. And take a full breath in here. A full breath out. Relax through the inner groins. Allow the line of your inner thighs to soften. Again, breathe in. Breathe it out. Notice if your buttock muscles are fired up, also let that soften. Inhale deep. And exhale completely. Keep your knees apart. Start pushing the soles of your feet together. Feel the outer edges of the feet pressing deep. See if you can additionally press the balls, the big toe mounds of the feet together. And as you do that, you may notice the inner groins starting to come online, even the buttocks. Keep pressing through the outer edges, the big toe mounds. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, lift the outer part of your feet about 1 or 2 centimeters away from the ground. And then take your tailbone and draw it slightly forward to the low back roots. There's a little connection to the belly here. Stay as you are. Inhale. Allow the outer edges of the feet to lift higher. Exhale. And then just take one more breath, actively pushing into the soles. Lower the feet down. Take your knees together, draw them into the chest. Your left hand is resting on the left knee, the right hand is on the right. Split the knees apart. And then begin to draw circles with your knees. And then move your knees in the opposite direction. Okay, place both of your feet flat onto the floor. So the left, both feet are flat. Keep the left sole flat. Bring your right leg towards happy baby pose. So it's a half happy baby pose here. And then make sure the ball of your left foot roots. You might even take your left arm to the line of your inner thigh and push the inner thigh into the hand, just to make sure that the inner part of your leg is active. Okay, whereas the right hand is gently pulling the right knee and your right thigh to the floor, just right of the rib cage. Just do that for one more breath. Then place your ankle, the right ankle on top of the left knee. Right arm goes in between the legs where you interlock the fingers on your hamstrings or the shin bone. Breathing in. Exhale, bend your elbows and pull. So as you're pulling the left thigh towards you, have the right thigh pushing away. See how much you can press the outer right thigh towards the front part of your mat. And do that for one more breath. Now go ahead and release your hands down onto the floor. Slide your walk your left foot in just one step, so it's more towards the midline, and then slide your right leg down, so the right thigh is squeezing the left thigh with both of your feet. So come into eagle with your legs. If you can hook the foot behind your ankle, great. And if not, it's also great work on squeezing the outer shins. We're going to interlock the fingers behind our heads. You could otherwise take the fingertips to the temples. What we're focusing on here is inhaling to lift the upper back. Keep the elbows wide. And then with your exhalation, curl your tailbone up and off the ground. So it's a very subtle action. Lift the tailbone. Keep your chest lifted, lower the tailbone down. On your breath in, lift the breastbone even higher. Exhale, lift the tailbone up. So make sure that your thighs are not coming towards you, but instead letting the shins lift. One more time, lower the tailbone, upper back stays lifted. Full breath in here. Exhale, curl your tailbone up, and then hold that for 3. See if you can lift the flesh of your buttocks even higher. 2. And then lower down. down. Keep the legs in eagle, lower them to the left. And then stretch your right arm out. Either head is towards the sky or chin towards the shoulder. Take another breath in and really feel the ribs, the right side of the ribs and the right knee moving away from each other. Okay, and unwrap, come back to center. Unwrap your legs, both feet flat onto the floor. Full breath in. And full breath out. Okay, we're going to happy baby with our left leg. So you hold onto the outer edge of the left foot. Pull the knee down, your thigh towards the floor. And then maybe the right hand just rests for a moment on the inner part of your thigh. Press the inner thigh to the hand and really feel just that subtle connection to the inner leg, to your adductors. We're then going to bring the ankle just above your right knee. And then the left arm goes between that space where you interlock the fingers either on the hamstrings or the shin bone as your head touches the floor. Inhale here. And then exhale, pull the thigh towards the stomach. In fact, it's towards the right side of the abdomen. It's towards the right side of your chest. But as you're pulling this leg in, think of the left thigh pressing away from you. Engage your left buttock and push your outer left thigh to the front part of your mat. And then release your hands, place the right heel down into the floor as you walk the foot just a little bit to the left. So it's centered in both of the shins. Again, perhaps sliding the foot behind your leg if you can get it there. If not, it's completely fine. And then clasp your hands behind the head or fingers to temples. Take a breath in and peel your upper back off the floor. So if you take a quick glance at the thighs, they're not going to move towards you. They're going to stay straight up and down. As you exhale, lift the tailbone up. Keep your upper back off the ground. Inhale, lower the hips. And then exhale, curl your tailbone up. Curl your tailbone like you're trying to point it towards the calves. Keep your upper back lifted, lower the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, last time, lift the flesh of your seat off the floor. And let's see if you can peel the sacrum off the ground. Lower down. Take your eagle legs to the right. And then stretch the left arm out. So especially if you're doing this class in the morning, it can be really nice to release any built up tension from sleeping in the hips or in your lower back. Take another breath. We'll come back to center first with the legs, unravel them, and then come into happy baby pose with both legs. Hold on to the outer edges of the feet if you're not already. Try that. And your elbows are slightly towards the inside of the knees. So the knees are to the sides of your arms. They're pointing a little bit towards the outer shoulders, and then pull your feet down. Your hands are trying to pull against the feet to root the thighs, but then allow the feet to resist and push back up into the fingers. Take another breath. We're then joining the soles of our feet together. Cradle your feet with your hands, and then think of, visualize this shape as Baddha Konasana, okay, as bound angle pose. Push your knees to the front of your mat. Feel like you're using your hands to draw the heels closer to the line of your belly button. And do that for another moment. Keep cradling the feet with your hands, and then start reaching the feet over your head. And then begin to rock along the length of your spine, maintaining the bound angle shape as best as you can. And then once you've rolled up in towards a seated position, maybe move your buttocks, rock it a little bit from right to left. Again, keeping hold of the feet. You can also direct your hands instead to the ankles. We're going to inhale. Keep the spine upright, collarbones wide.
As you exhale, push down through the thigh bones. So instead of folding forward, the heart stays high, right? Top of the head is lifting, inhale. And then again, exhale, use your glutes and push the outer thighs closer towards the floor. Do that for one more breath and lift the heart space. Exhale, push down through the outer legs. Now start to lean a little bit back. Bring the knees together, reach forward through your arms, come up onto the tips of the big toes. Slide those tips of the toes closer to the buttocks and then lift your feet to Navasana boat. Inhale, allowing the breastbone to lift. Exhale, squeeze in between the knees. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, thighs even closer to the belly. Now take the hands to the backs of the knees. Let yourself roll back. You're gonna roll up, plant the feet, and see if you can come up towards a chair pose. Drawing in through the navel, lengthening through the arms, and then forward folding, exhale. Okay, look at the feet, separate them around hips distance apart. Look straight ahead of you, inhale. As you exhale, lift the front of the feet and slide your hands underneath. In this variation of Padahastasana, I'm placing my palms flat onto the floor and having the feet press at the backs of the hands. If that's not accessible for you this morning, you can then turn the palms to face the feet. Instead, inhale, lengthening. As we exhale, bend the arms. So especially if you've taken this more awkward variation here, the bending of the elbows might create for you a stretch through the ventral side of the forearms. See if you can keep pressing through the inner parts of your wrists. Okay, wherever you are, exhale, lift the buttock bones higher, keep the ribs to the thighs. And then we'll breathe in to look forward. Exhale, release your hands to either sides of the feet, and then feel really long, extend even more through the spine. Exhale, with your left foot, take a big step back. Left foot steps back. Inhale, stretch your right arm up and towards the sky. Work with that front leg, bend it even more. And then we're going to take this top hand, use it to help you turn one quarter to the left and move in towards Skandasana with your back leg bending. Back leg is bending, front leg is straightening. If you look at your back foot, it's about 45 degrees. Hands can touch the floor if you need that support. They can also come to prayer. With your front leg, it's straight. It's also externally rotating, so the knee is pointing up and your toes are pointing up. Now take Skandasana into that front leg. Keep your pelvis fairly low to the floor. And same thing, right foot is about 45 degrees. Left leg itself is rotating externally, lift the chest. Okay, we're then going to turn ourselves to face the front of the mat, pivot the feet to face forward, downward dog, stretch the right leg up. Both of the elbows are straight, the armpits hollowing, lift your right thigh higher. And then bend your right knee as you start to open through the hip. See how much you can externally rotate through your lifted leg. And then bring your right knee forward towards the nose. Allow your spine to round. And then look forward as you step the foot to plank. Inhale in your plank pose. Exhale, bend your arms, chaturanga. Lie down in your mats, cobra pose. And then downward facing dog. Exhale. Take one more breath. Push through the thighs. Allow your heels to lift. Look forward, bend your knees, walking, stepping, or perhaps even hopping towards the front part of the mat, extend through the chest. And then exhale to bow. Chair pose. Sit a little bit deeper. And then bring your hands to the floor, forward fold. Look forward, inhale. Exhale with the right foot, step back. The knee is straight, the left leg is bending. We'll twist, stretch the left arm up. Okay, then use your top hand to reaching to the right, and then turn fully your body to the right side and walk your hands to the back, Skandasana, right leg bending. So the idea with the thighs is they're moving away from the midline, actively abduct the hips, push the thighs away from each other, and then allow the pelvis to stay fairly low to the floor as you move into Skandasana with that front leg bending. And then see if maybe you are able to draw your tailbone closer to the floor, lift the heart. Turn to the front of your mat, hands are planted, lift into downward dog with your left leg to the sky. Keep pushing through your hands. So the elbows are straight, bend your knee, and externally rotate through the hip. Can you really feel the very head of your thigh bone in the socket, rotating to lift the knee higher? Draw the knee all the way forward towards the nose. Now look straight ahead and simply step your foot towards plank. Inhale there. As we exhale, bend the elbows through Chaturanga, and then perhaps this time pausing. Or lying down, but next posture, open the chest, whether that's Bhujangasana Cobra or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana Up Dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale nice and deep. Push back through the thighs, exhale. And then allow the heels to lift. Look forward, knees bending, stepping or hopping towards the top. Inhale for length. Exhale to fold. Okay, the feet are around hips distance. Take the first two fingers and the thumbs around your big toes. Stretch the spine away from the legs, so that's your inhale. Bend your elbows to the side and then fold forward. Feel the contact of belly against the thighs. The lowest part of your ribs pushing against the thighs. And then as you do that, move the sit bones back. Draw the sitting bones higher. And then connect with the engagement of the legs. And use that to see if your face is able to move closer to the shin bones. Then look straight ahead of you. Breathe in. Hands to the hips. Breathe out. Pause. Shoulder blades hugging together. Then leading with the breastbone, rise all the way to standing. Stretch your arms over your head. Inhaling. Exhale, right thigh up towards the chest. Okay, let's come into tree pose. Place the foot along your left leg. As you feel steady, your hands together in prayer. Your right knee is pointing mostly towards the right side. Okay, your right hip has abducted away from the midline. Let's go left hand to the hip. Reach your right hand down to the ankle. Just lift the foot off of the leg and see if you can grab the outer part of your right foot. On the next inhale, lift your right heel so it's in line with the knee. Think of happy baby pose or half happy baby pose, only we're standing. And then bring your ankle on top of the left knee. Start bending the standing leg towards a figure four. You can then bring the left elbow in front of the right shin, so both arms in front of the shin bone, hands together in prayer. Then reach your hands to the floor as you take a cross-legged forward fold. Notice how your feet are more towards the left side of the mat. Think of which one is your left hip. Move your outer left hip away from your armpit. Now look forward. With your exhale, just slide your left foot back. Okay, hands on the mat, shoulders distance apart, and begin lowering your right leg towards pigeon pose. Allow the chest to lift, breathe in. And then slide your left knee even further back, breathe out. Okay, we're going to keep our heart high here with your right buttock pulled back and press down. Then tucking the back toes if they're not yet doing so, back knee straight as we lift our right thigh in towards our chest. Straight leg down dog split, the leg is high. Look forward and step the foot next to the right thumb. Come to your finger pads, straighten the front knee as best as you can. Look at your back heel and lift it higher. Now look forward. Push your hips back, the thighs back, but breathe in and draw the chest forward, okay? Stay active through your front leg by rooting the big toe mound. And then with the length of your spine, begin lowering your belly towards the thigh. Your chin may touch the shin bone. The shin bone being the bone that runs from the knee towards the ankle. And perhaps you might even flex the right foot, or more specifically, dorsiflexing the right ankle, letting the toenails come closer to the shin. Let's place that right foot down, bend into the right leg, and then look at your left hand, move it a little bit forward. So the wrist is either directly under the shoulder or slightly forward of the shoulder. Pull the abdomen in. Can you lift the foot, the front foot, so your right hand is able to hold onto the outer edge? Get a firm grip, okay? Listen carefully. We're going to spin onto the outer edge of our left foot, come into a variation of side plank pose like we did when we were standing. So think of this half happy baby pose in your side plank. Okay, maintain your balance as you let go of your right foot. Bend your right knee as the thigh kicks back and perhaps lower towards wild thing, Kamatkrasana. And then look towards the floor, right hand meeting the mat, downward dog, exhale. Push back through the thighs. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog. Pause, lengthen the belly, open the chest. Downward dog, exhale. Okay, let the heels lift. Look forward, bend the knees, step or hop. Look straight ahead of you, breathing in. And then exhale, forward folding. Rise all the way to the sky. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, left thigh up towards the chest. Tree pose. As you feel steady and stable, hands to prayer. Eyes are on one point. Okay, let the left hand reach to the ankle. Remove the foot from your right leg and start grabbing onto the outer edge of your left foot. Right hand meets the waist, lift the chest. As you breathe in, bring your left heel in front of the left knee, standing happy baby pose. Draw the flesh of your buttocks down and continue to lengthen the spine. Okay, and then we'll move now, or place the ankle above the right knee. And you start sitting a little bit lower, or in other words, bending your right leg, which will then bring you deeper into your outer left hip. Right arm, right upper arms in front of the shin, both upper arms in front of the shin, hands to prayer. Think of pushing the arms against the shin so the spine can lengthen more forward. Then reach your hands down to the floor. Your right leg crosses the left, and you take this awkward forward fold. Doing the best to keep both soles flat, including the heels. And even though your knees may be bending, push back through the thighs. Let's inhale to lift halfway. As you exhale, slide your right foot all the way back. It doesn't have to move, it simply slides back. And then with your hands shoulders width, lower your front knee. Adjust the front leg as much as needed so you're in pigeon pose. Slide your right leg back. We'll keep our hands onto the floor, heart high. And see if you can gain a little bit more control and connection to that left hip. Pull back. Or another way you might think about it is actually squeezing the inner left hip towards the midline and pressing the flesh of your left glute down into the floor. Then set your hands flat if they're not yet there. Back toes tuck, lift the knee, and then draw the left thigh into the belly. Okay, kick back into three-legged downward facing dog pose. The left leg is straight. See if you can lift higher. Look forward and step the foot next to your left thumb, come to finger pads. Straighten the front leg completely, look at the back heel, lift it higher, and then extend through the spine. Lower your belly towards the thigh, your heart towards the thigh, and perhaps some of you getting the chin towards the shin. If you flexed the front ankle before, you'll do the same here. And you all focus on hugging that outer left hip back and continuing to drive that front heel into the floor. Look forward. The front sole presses into the ground. The right hand does the same. Look at your wrist. It's under the shoulder directly or slightly forward of it. Lift the left foot so you're able to grab onto the outer edge. We'll then spin onto the outer back foot. And then instead of going to Vashisthasana B, instead I want you to think, when you turn to the left, the heel is just in front of the hip bone. So like that happy baby we did while standing. And keep lifting the right side of your body higher. Okay, work your balance as you let go of your left hand. With the left knee bending, move the thigh back and step the foot to the right side of your mat. Kamakarasana, wild thing. And then look down towards the floor. Left hand meeting the ground, downward facing dog. Exhaling. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend your arms, chaturanga. Lie down on your mat. Straighten both of your arms. We'll turn the palms to face the floor. And then inhale, lift the chest, the arms, and the legs. Peel the front of the shoulders higher. Can you lift the front of the thighs higher? Without letting your knees touch the floor, can you start bending through the legs? So keep lifting the thighs. Can your heels come closer to the glutes? Push your pubic bone down. Lower slowly. Turn your head to the right. The chin is forward. Our arms can stay exactly as they are. Just make sure that they're long. And then lift your chest, lift your arms. Okay, also lift your thighs to the feet. If you want, you can grab onto the ankles or the feet for Dhanurasana. You can also stay in that variation of Shalabhasana, locust pose. Inner rotate the thighs. Lift the backs of the thighs higher. And then come slowly to the earth. As you now look to the left. With your hands onto your mat, press towards Balasana, child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. the knees, sit up. Take your feet towards the front of your mat. And bring the soles of your feet together into a bound angle pose. The heels can be as close or as far away from the groins as you wish them to be. Just make sure the knees aren't lifting too high. So if you're a bit tighter in the hips and the knees lift quite a bit, I would actually move the feet more forward. Instead of holding onto our feet, we're going to inhale and lift the arms. So through the lift of your arms, can you find more length through the sides of your body? So from the top part of the hips towards the lowest part of the armpits, can you lengthen? Keep this length as you exhale, hinge forward. As you're hinging forward, keep the outer thighs pushing towards the floor. And then as we're folding our body or hinging more forward in this active compression, can you think of tilting the pelvis so that the flesh of your seat points more towards the back? Another way to think about it is, can you find the natural curve of your lumbar spine in the lower back? Inhale, reach through the arms. Exhale, bring your hands down onto the feet. Take a moment and push down through the thighs, fold deeper. Inhale, lift the chest, lean back, and exhale, open your legs into an Upavishta Konasana. We're going to inhale, lift our arms. Keep flexing through your feet. Exhale, fold whilst keeping the spine nice and long. Okay, engage through the quadriceps, the muscles at the front of the thighs. Engage the belly. See if you can fold a little deeper. Inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, bring the sole of your left foot towards the right thigh. Keep your arms nice and tall. Turn your body towards the right leg. Inhale. Exhale, fold, but keeping the spine long. Seeing if you can engage the right thigh, engage the belly, fold. Inhale, lift the chest, reach your left leg out, the right sole in. Turn your body towards the left, lengthen more, breathe in, and then engage the belly, fold towards the left leg. Stay as you are, extend even more. And then inhale, lift the chest. One more time with the right leg out, both legs out, Upavishta. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, hinge. Hands are free. Engage the belly, push down through the legs. Last breath in. Pull forward. Release your arms to the floor, maybe your hands. Take another breath. Bring your hands to the center part of your thighs. Push down to lift the chest. Take your legs and cross them. If you feel like lying down instead, that is most definitely an option. And then whatever you have chosen, embody it, and then let your eyes close. As you give yourself permission to return to a more natural state, whether that's the natural rhythm of your breath, relaxation of the body, whatever that means to you. Perhaps it's none of those, something else. Just sit with it and be with it. So please give yourself at least one more minute. And if you have even more time than that, then that is, of course, yogi's choice. I'm going to end the class here. And thank you for practicing with me today. I am bowing down to you all.